Good Monday. This is Jay Brew, co-chairman of Seafried and Brew. Today what we want to do is to talk about supply versus demand. And we'll start off with the labor market conditions index that we've been looking at on a monthly basis. This comes out right after the employment situation news on Monday, after that coming out on Friday. And we basically have talked about the fact that over these past couple of months that this index has moved down, actually went negative, went slightly up, and is at right around a 1.1 level right now, which once again the average and an expansion is more like 4 reading. So when we think about that, is the supply and demand pushing wages up? Well, in the employment situation news, wages are still soft in here. When we look at it from the standpoint of the commodity index, once again going back to the level it was at in the recession, and we're actually now below that. So when we think about supply and demand around the world, is that amazingly enough, since it's high, off 47% from the top. And that's just an amazing figure in my mind. 2 is looking at West Texas crude in here. Of course, we've had it head down in here over the past couple of weeks. But when we look at it overall, is that from its high, down 59%. And even what we've just had in terms of a movement in price being 28%. Once again, just huge moves in terms of this energy sector and the effect that it'll have on the United States. As we've talked about before, not just cheap gas, but think about what it's doing to the energy sector. Finally, look at where the dollar, amazingly enough, a change in 21% in terms of the dollar versus the euro, and that supply demand affecting our different products across the globe. So when we think about supply and demand, and we think about interest rates, is that supply and demand would suggest in here that interest rates will remain low for a considerable period of time. This is Jay Brew, co-chairman of Seafried and Brew. Have a great week.